There are many different reports available in Gradebook that will provide you with both a paper copy or an electronic copy of information that you can share. Some of the times you'll want to be sharing with the principal, sharing with other teachers, a student, and maybe a parent or a caregiver. And it's very easy to run these reports. All you do is you click on the Reports tab on your menu bar and you get a list of all of them. So we'll go through all of them and talk a little bit about each of them, then I'll demonstrate how you can run one or two. So the attendance grid, you can use that, the attendance grid, to mark attendance manually, or you could create a data grid or a checklist. You can format the report to print with specific dates or no dates. There is the category total report. In this report, you're able to view a summary of category totals for a student or an entire class. You can choose to report on one specific term or for all of the terms or semesters. The final grade and comment verification, incredibly useful. You can grade final grade and you can view final grade information for your students. You can select to include all the final grade information or only specific information like the final grade only. Excellent for reviewing your comments before they're posted to a progress report. The individual student report can view a summary of class information per student. This is kind of like having a look at the progress report. You can choose what information is printed, and you can of course select the date range on those as well. Missing assignment report. You can run that. You get a list of all the students with assignments in Gradebook that aren't scored or missing. They can be printed off and handed out to students or parents or caregivers. The score sheet. Print a paper copy of all the grades and assignments and tasks in your Gradebook. Again, your choice whether you want to print for all categories, one category. The outcome report, right now it's showing as a standards report. Of course, we use those terms interchangeably. Sometimes in Gradebook the word standards will appear, and you can have a look there at your students' final outcome grades and outcome assignment scores for a specific reporting term. You can do it term by term. The student multi-section report, you can view final grade information for all of your students, not just your class. You can choose which term you'd like to record or report on in that report as well. Student roster, a lot of teachers find that incredibly useful too. You can view student demographic information and you can select which pieces of demographic information you want to include on a report, and then it formats that into almost like a roster or a checklist. Very helpful, help you keep track of permission slips coming in or keep track of money collected, that sort of thing. So yeah, let's have a look at how to run maybe one or two. I'll start with the attendance grid up here. When you want to run one, even if you want to run one, just to see what it looks like, you just double click on it, and then you're going to get the criteria here that you can select. So I will run a report now for my blue ELA class. So I'm going to, under sections, I'll make sure it's just my selected class. I want all of the students enrolled in my blue ELA class to be included on this report. And in the student field, rather than have it listed by student number, I'd like that student name. That's fine. And you know what? I'm just going to create it right now for the week. I can put in a range of days, but I'll just put in per week. So all of the selections and all the reports are just click and save, click and select. So I've selected these. I'm going to run an attendance report for this week. And down here in the right hand corner, once my criteria is selected, I'm going to hit run report. And it's asking me for my password here. That's okay. I'll just put it in. Okay. Two options. One is to open the report, one is to save. For the purposes here, I'm just going to open it up so I can show you that I've created a classroom attendance grid using reports. So The other one that of course is incredibly popular is the student roster. I'll just open that up. Student roster criteria tab. If I want to create a PDF file, something just to maybe print out and have on my desk for collecting things, I can go through here. I'm going to create one again for my blue ELA class. So I'm going to have the entire class selected. I want all the students, and for the student info, I'm going to select my student name, and I'm going to put my birthday, the students' birthdays there as well, okay, because I like to celebrate birthdays, so I'll have a list of those. If I wanted to have contact information readily available to me in paper copy, I can put caregivers' names on there as well. And then you can customize. You can actually say, okay, I want to add my own column on this roster, so I put a little check beside this field. And for this one, you know, I can call this one fees because I'm going to check off as students return their fees. And maybe this is a permission, and maybe this might be the media release. And as you can see, as I'm filling these in, it's giving me a report preview here on the bottom of the page, and this is how things will appear once my report is generated. So with these criteria selected, I'm going to go ahead and run the report, and I'll just open it again so you can see. And there you have your handy student roster with a student name, birth date, father's name, mother's name, fees, because we inserted that custom column for permission slips, and the media release. And of course, because this includes some private information, private student records, we have to be careful about how we protect this if we print it off in hard copy.